Hey there, Juggies, your old pal McJuggerNuggets here. Welcome to the Juggies Powwow! It's a brand new year, and you're gonna do that shit?
Yeah.
I wanted to start off right.
This is right.
You just start off wrong.
Right, because I'm here. This is the first video.
The first video, and you're in it.
I'm in it!
The year of Juliette.
Guys,
oh, God. No,
I'm gonna be in every single one.
Don't say that. Actually, it's the year of the eagle. Yes,
is it really?
Yeah, it's the year of the eagle. For me.
That's symbolic.
No, it's not the actual year of the eagle, but it is for me.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I make my own years up. Anyway, Juggies, we have a great topic coming to you guys. It's about
alcohol.
What the F?
It's a song.
That's
by Brad Paisley.
I'm not surprised that's a song.
There's every country song about alcohol.
I thought it was going to be a rap song about alcohol.
I'm sure they're blame it on the juice. Got you
the juice.
Loose. Blame it on the
got you feeling loose.
Alcohol.
How appropriate, you know, the day after New Year's Eve, we're going to talk about alcohol because that's what everyone does. Everyone drinks.
Everyone's hungover today.
Except for you guys.
Yeah, you guys
are young. Well, that hasn't stopped me before. Because
come on. But they're like 13.
Promote under. Well, we're about to
promote underage drinking.
We're about to talk about that. I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying this shit happens. It's very real. School has nothing to do with alcohol. I've gone to class drunk before.
Have you really?
No, actually, I've never done that.
That's awful.
I know a lot of people who have, though. So yeah, we're going to be talking about it generally. We're going to talk about our opinions of it. We're going to talk about our history with it, our current day situation, just right off the bat. Today marks my 2-year anniversary of sobriety, aka I haven't had a drop. Thank you. Because think about it, that's no easy feat. I'm 23 years old. I started when I was 21, no drinking. All of age 22, no drinking.
That's actually true.
And a few months of 23.
That's
the hardest time.
As soon as you can go out to bars and stuff.
As soon as I can legally get it, I was like, meh. I like doing it illegally, but not one drop though, is the difference. I'm very proud of that. That was for different reasons, but how about you?
I drink casually now because like I never...
Is it casual?
I didn't really start drinking. I didn't really start drinking until I was 21. Like really drinking. Which was like a year ago. And so now, like, you know, if I want to have a couple drinks, like I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Like last night we went out. We're not going to talk about my dad right now, but we went out. Juliette had a little bit to drink.
Yeah.
I'd say it was an average amount, whatever that means.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get drunk, but I was like, you know, happily.
But I was her DD, also known as the designated driver, because you don't want to drive drunk.
Me.
Oh, scratch you? What a bitch.
It's horrible.
I can say that because Ella is a female dog. So let's start at the beginning. I had always thought drinking was bad. It was evil. My dad used to drink a lot. Family members used to drink a lot. My papa used to drink a lot. It was just like, you'd see it, you know, with family members, and you'd hear about on the news, like so-and-so got into an accident because they're drunk driving. There's so many bad things surrounded by alcohol. So I grew up, you know, for the longest time thinking it was horrible. I was never going to drink. I was never going to smoke. Then I, you know, I had a group of friends. I still have that same group of friends, and they were all drinking, and I was like, what? Changed my whole perception. I was like, you guys drink, and I like you guys, but you guys drink alcohol? I was so confused. And they started pressuring me. You got the good old peer pressure. I call it beer pressure. I think it's more creative, but they actually had me drink a Mike's Hard Lemonade, which is like a little girly drink. It's the equivalent of like a beer, but like the female version. And I drank it. I was age 14 at the time. 14 years old, started drinking. From there on out, I was drinking like vodka. I was getting super drunk. I don't condone that at all, but I was really young, and that's why I feel like I have a lot of developmental problems. I'm kind of like half retarded sometimes. I can't really think straight, and I think that's due in part because early drinking. It also stunted my growth. I'm like 5 foot. I'm like a midget because it definitely affected me.
At least you're never gonna drink again. Right?
Oh, I didn't say that. Ow. So anyway, Julie had a little bit to drink before this powwow. She's really feeling it. So, and it's interesting the different kinds of drunk, which we're gonna get into. But anyway, we don't want to take too much of your time. We wanted it to be a educational and entertaining topic. But I was drinking regularly. You know, it became like a social thing. Like, oh, we'd have a party with friends, and it became more fun if we had alcohol there. It didn't get until maybe around like 18 years old, you know, there would be high school parties, and then we graduate into college, and then college becomes really alcohol infested and all about these frat parties, keg stands and shit. I wasn't really doing that too much because I was commuting, I was just driving to school. But it wasn't until I hit 21 and I got my brain injury and my diet started to progress, and I knew alcohol was really unhealthy, and I didn't need to have fun, and I was afraid of what I would do with my brain. So I stopped drinking. As far as the future for drinking, I would like to try again, reintroduce it just like casually, but never like going too far over the limit. But that's just my experiences with alcohol. How about your experiences?
with alcohol? I mean, I remember having like sips of wine at home. Like it was never like this forbidden thing, and I think that kind of helped, because usually when your parents are really strict about it and they're like, no, you can never have a sip of it, that makes you want to do it even
I remember
more.
my dad like giving me you know, a half-empty beer can and then having, you know, the bottom of it, and I was like,
yeah, and it tasted so bad.
Tastes like shit, and for a lot of people it still tastes like shit, and you gotta find that alcohol you can actually tolerate.
And then I mean, my friends started drinking around the same time, like freshman year of high
But you had better
school-ish.
willpower than I
don't know. I mean, I might have like tried a sip of it or something, but I never really liked it, and I just always saw what it did to them, and I was like, you guys are crazy.
It's like, I don't want to be stupid. I don't want to act stupid, and it tastes like shit.
And
so that's two negatives.
I didn't ever need it to have fun too. Like I always felt
beautiful.
like I mean, but fun to me though is like probably same for you with video games. Like fun for me is like sitting in my room and like playing guitar.
That's true. I'm very simple.
And like chilling.
Yeah.
Not really going out clubbing and stuff. I was never really into that. But in college, because I lived on campus, I got more
exposed to that lifestyle.
To it. Especially like freshman year of college, everyone really goes crazy. Not that I went like crazy, but like
freshman year.
Freshman year, everyone goes a little crazy, but then once you're 21, everyone just like goes to bars and it's just casual, and it's not all about kickstands and getting drunk anymore. It's more just like, oh, like this is cool. Like, we can all go out and like have dinner.
Quick question: do you think legal age is fine? Do you think 21's fine, legal to drink? Or 18, do you think that's more appropriate?
No, I think 21 still.
I think 21's all well and good. I can also see the argument with 18. You know, people say, die for your country, you can have a drink. I get that. And, you know, you could also argue that most of my drinking took place before 21, and then after. I think there comes, you know, there's a certain, you know, thrill with it being illegal, and it's like, ooh, you know, let's drink, because it's like the cool thing to do. And it's available
anyway, like kids are going to be drinking when
exactly, they're going to find their way to get it.
Especially because you start college when you're 18.
Yeah, but it does limit it at least a little bit more, so I get that. But
I think the benefit of it is that you have to have had your license for a few years,
right,
and have been able to like drive
the whole driving and drinking. That's the biggest thing.
A good record before you can start to drink.
Now there's a lot of different types of alcohol. There's beer, there's vodka, there's rum, there's whiskey, there's tequila. There's all different flavors and
Bacardi
and effects. I personally believe that there's different drunks off different alcohols. Like vodka gets me wild, beer gets me freaking loopy. I guess they're interchangeable, but I have different kinds of crazy. Whiskey gets me kind of like depressed / insightful. I don't know. There's different effects. Tequila just fucks my day up, and I'm completely belligerent. My thoughts on alcohol now, I think it's totally fine as long as it's casual. I don't want you to get like my fucking dad, or like, you know, you don't want it to get to a point where you don't know what you're doing and you lose control. I've had a few instances where I've been blackout drunk, or they call it browning out, where you had too much to drink and you can't really remember what happened the night before. And that's a little weird. Yeah. It can be kind of funny, like the hangover. I mean, that's a ridiculous case, but like, it's interesting. It's
dangerous.
It can be, yeah.
Blacking out. I mean, if you don't remember what happened the night before, anything could have happened.
Especially 9 months later, you're dead. You also don't want to get to a point where you feel like shit the next day. Yeah, so just a few drinks. But then it gets hard, because if you have a few drinks each night, then, you know, your tolerance gets built up and you need to have more to get, you know, any type of feeling. It's difficult. I don't know. I
say go into the night with a limit, and like, so that doesn't always work, but if you say, like, I know this is hard for you, or was hard for you, but like, I don't know, if I say I'm literally not gonna have more than 3 drinks tonight, then, and I space it out, then I'm usually fine.
I'm better as an all or nothing kind of guy. I'd rather not drink alcohol at all, because I never knew my limits. And sometimes I do the same thing with eating, where it's like, it tastes so good, I love it, why stop now? And then next thing you know, I'm sick, because it takes a little bit for it to kick in. And the same thing would happen with alcohol, and I'd be like, I'm having so much fun, the fun never stops! And then you projectile all over everyone at the party.
That's embarrassing.
Which has happened before.
Really?
I don't want to talk about it. We're probably not going to touch too much upon other drugs. It's just about alcohol, but, you know, I've dabbled.
What about love? That's a drug.
It is. There's many drugs. Whatever influences the brain is technically a drug, which is everything. Everything's a drug when you really think about it. Mindfuck! That's a drug.
Title of my next album, Everything's a Drug.
That's good. So what advice do we have for you guys? I'd imagine a lot of you guys are underage. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. Honestly, I'm not condoning underage drinking. I think you should wait, but I mean, obviously that sounds hypocritical coming from me who started when I was 14. Because I had a lot of good times when I was younger.
But I also think it's dangerous. You just said all the effects of it.
If you think, well, no, even because I know how different my mind was when I was younger. I was gonna say, if you think you can handle it, if you think you're responsible, you're mature enough, you're smart enough to know how to handle alcohol, don't do it, guys. But I'm just saying, like, no, I can't even say that.
No,
I can't.
I was gonna say, like, that's terrible. You shouldn't drink. Like, you just shouldn't until you're 21.
You don't need it. Yeah, I'm 21. I've gone the last 2 years of my life without drinking, and it's been great.
Honestly, like, as I've gotten older, too, like, I think the bad effects of it outweigh the good.
Even though she was like, God, I just want to drink so fucking bad.
No, like, sometimes...
Don't listen to any advice from anyone. Just do your shit.
Sometimes if you want to have a drink, like, that's one thing. Like, if I'm like, oh, God, like, I just want to relax, like, feel a little bit buzzed, like, get a drink. When you're 21, like, I am 22.
Okay.
Am I? Yeah. And so, but no, I think that, honestly, like, you don't need it, and I think that especially when you're younger, it affects you so much, and, like, even just having one, you might be hungover the next day, especially if you're 14.
Illegal, and your parents would probably kick your ass if they found out you're drinking, and it leads to bad things.
You have to steal it from people.
It's a whole lot of work just for unnecessary. Like, video games are my anti-drug, and they always were. Like, there was a lot of times people would go out, and I'd just be like, I'm just going in, I'm just staying in and playing video games. Each their own, and I'll never impose my beliefs or what you should do on somebody else, but, like, just know yourself and know your limits for those over 21.
Before you wreck yourself.
Hell yeah. Well said. I think you just ended it. There's a lot of good times. Like drinking and video games are a great combination. I wish I could have a drink on stream. It could happen someday in the future. It just heightens the experience of everything, and it calms the nerves. But don't do it.
No, I feel like...
Give me, like, contradicting
I honestly
here.
feel like I would be worse if I tried to drink and play video games. Like,
what if you had, like, a beer or two before we did this powwow? Like, legitimately. You would have had a great time, I feel like. Right?
It depends. Not in the middle of the day, though, because I would get a headache.
Right. Headaches occur. There's the dads, the day after drinking shits. I've had those many a days, and it's like straight diarrhea. It's like beer coming out of your butthole, and it's horrible. The more and more I talk about it, I don't want to ever drink again. I know. Because, like...
Let's just not drink
I didn't drink last night. Like I said, I've been sober for 2 years, but, like, when I stay up late, I feel drunk. And studies have shown that when you don't get enough sleep, they have similar effects as alcohol.
I mean, the addiction part.
It's expensive. It's expensive AF, dude. You go out to just of age out to a bar, you pay like $10 for a mixed drink.
And also the addiction of it when like I always say if you're feeling sad and you have to turn to alcohol to make you feel better, that's never a good thing because it is a depressant.
But that is love.
No.
But that is love, though. That's like me and you. When I don't have you, I'm like...
No, listen, because alcohol is a depressant.
Accurate.
And later on, it might make you feel good for like a little bit, but then later on, you're going to feel 10 times worse.
But it also depresses everything, including anxiety. Takes it away, releases the nerves.
No, not always. I sometimes get more paranoid with it. It just depends.
You got shrooms in your alcohol?
No, it depends on the kind of alcohol you have. And I think that it can become an addiction if you use it. If you use it and it does make you feel good for a few times, then you're like, why would I ever not be drunk?
Right. I also think there's a huge problem in our society with alcohol in regards to how it's publicized in the mainstream and just how it's like, alcohol is like the most well-known drug out there, but it's so commonplace that it's not even looked at as a drug. It's like, oh, have a beer, it's so like casual and stuff.
Every movie, yeah,
and like you know Bud Light ads and like freaking football and sports and alcohol goes hand in hand with the guys and masculinity, and it's like. They make it seem like if you're not drinking alcohol, you're a fucking loser.
Which is not true.
Which is not true. It's BS, guys. And, like, I'm pretty cool, dude, and I haven't drank in 2 years. And I'm sure I would go to a party and a lot of people would be like, you're not drinking?
Yeah, people make fun of you a lot.
But the joke's on them, because the next day I'll be feeling better than them, and I wouldn't.
And honestly, like what's fun too sometimes is if you're the only one that's sober at a party, and then
laugh
you just
at other
start
people,
acting, or you act drunk. You're just like because everyone else is drunk.
I always like people watching, just being in the corner of the room and just being like, oh my god, look at what they just did. That's so stupid.
Like you could be the one Snapchatting everyone, being like,
exactly.
Yeah, look at you.
Like, hey there, Juggies, I'm at a frat party right now. Everybody's pissed drunk. I'm not, and it's so funny. Look at this, and you know, you see people like grinding on each other and like.
It's really gross, like what our society has become.
Yeah, we're a bunch of fucking civilized primates.
Yeah.
Now, where does it fall in the spectrum of drugs? I don't know, because a lot of people, the battle of marijuana versus alcohol this is a strong one. They're always like, alcohol leads to more deaths, and this, and marijuana is used as a medicine, and does this. Personally, I don't know. I was never be a big weed guy, although people may think otherwise. I know you guys think Corn smokes blunts every day. Honestly, he still might. I don't know.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's actually really against that shit. But with alcohol, there are a lot of negative effects. Leads to all kinds of cancers, you know, it's those empty calories, you know, drunk driving, getting into accidents, and, you know, it really impairs judgment and whatnot. It leads to a lot of bad shit, but, I mean, it doesn't matter because it's so commonplace like we talked about. It's pretty bad, actually, when you think about it. So it's like, whatever, I'm gonna have a drink after this, fucking dumbass.
No, I do think it's bad, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm never drinking again.
So we're gonna end this powwow. I think we covered just about as much as we could with alcohol, and it's just so appropriate. I'm glad I'm not hungover today, and I feel bad for those that do. Hopefully you were able to focus on concentrating on this video without feeling sick to your stomach.
It's just about alcohol.
What?
You click on it, you're like, alcohol. Why are you looking at me like that?
The effects of alcohol.
When you're hungover, you just can't even focus on
sometimes,
anything.
Yeah.
The light, like any light makes you want to die. Oh, that feeling.
Yeah, I'm never drinking again, Juggies. I hope you join me in that. Parting words, be responsible. I'd only drink at a social gathering, like if you're going to a wedding or like it's New Year's Eve. Have a few drinks.
When you're
enjoy
celebrating.
Yourself. Exactly. Use it as a reward. Yeah. Don't use it as a punishment. Don't use it as that's actually really fucking good advice.
Or as a friend when you're like lonely.
Exactly.
Or as something to pick you up.
Exactly. Don't use it as a crutch. Don't use it as punishment. Use it as a reward, a good thing, a prize.
Celebratory. I'm gonna have a celebratory drink.
Incentivize it so that way, you know, you have a better experience with it. Because oftentimes, whatever mood you have before you start drinking, it's only gonna amplified, perfect word for when you actually drink and are drunk. So if you're actually, you know, closet sad right now, if you're depressed, but you're like, yeah, I'm so good right now, then you have some drinks, you're gonna be like,
come out. You'll be crying later in the bathroom.
Exactamundo. So please be responsible. Social. If you're not drinking now, don't start because of this powwow. God forbid we just, you know, made a few people interested in drinking.
No.
I hope it did the opposite, or, you know, you guys just know a little bit more. And, you know, I'm sure you guys hear about in health class and it's fucking annoying. Now you're getting on YouTube, so probably the last thing you ever wanted.
Educational and fun.
Yeah, right. Maybe if we were drunk talking about alcohol, don't drink. I don't know. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe for more content. I'm going to put it down here. Don't forget to subscribe to Juliette's channel. Thanks for helping me with this powwow. She's very well versed in this topic. She knows her shit. She's a college girl. Not for long, though. 2016, guys. First video of 2016. Woo! Yes, that means the powwow.
Horns or something.
The powwow is here to stay this year, motherfuckers. Despite what you say, the powwow is with us this year. It'll be, you know, sparingly and just on important topics, just to help you guys out. It's too valuable to lose. Just like babe.
Fun times.
Twitter, Instagram, links in the description. There'll be a vlog coming out later today. What?
I just heard you. You're cute.
Dude, I swear, see, it slows you down, too.
Impairs judgment.
I already used that phrase. See? It impaired her judgment with my phrasing.
I don't even have memory anymore.
Alright, Jay's got a vlog coming later tonight. We're gonna go get Juliette a new computer, because the one I got her in the gift exchange is a piece of shat. Alright, Jay's, love you all to death. Kicking off 2016 with a powwow!
Don't forget
Let's get to keep it rigid. No, what the keep it rigid. I fucking It's good for his heart, though. It is good for your heart.
No, it's not.
Wine is good for your heart.
Red wine.
And actually,
when you're like 50.
finishing thought is probably the last thing to probably, and what I mean, obviously it's the literal last thing you hear, but it's the last thing I want you guys to hear. But there's a lot of positive effects of alcohol too.
Why would you say that?
It's true. They've shown that abstinence or, you know, the avoidance of all alcohol and getting piss drunk, the two extremes are actually the worst thing for you. And the best thing is just to have 2 glasses a day.
No, 2 glasses.
No, it's true.
Not 2 glasses a day.
I think that's what it is.
No, it's not. It's 1 glass of red wine, I think, every other day.
But for a guy, it's like 2 a day.
No, it's not.
I'm almost positive. Like, for heart health? Yeah, dude. Perform surgery on him. It'll look at his insides.
His liver.
He's got a battery.
Ooh. Why does he have battery?
It's a bomb! Juggies sent me this in fan